Welcome to this ICEM Design Experience User Interface quick tour. We will start by the project dashboard. Here we are able to access to this web page where we can store all the information the project team needs to share with team members. On the top left of the screen, we can see that we have put some sketches of the project, but also rendering. On the top right, we have the 3D Play, which is actually a widget that allows us to share 3D data real time with the rest of the team without opening the platform itself. We can also share web pages, simulation, and all the major achievement of the project. Now, let's see how to launch the application. But just clicking on the compass, we are able to visualize all the application available in our role. Quickly, we can search ICEM and we directly find ICEM Design Experience app. As any app, we can put this in our favorite. Once we click on the icon, we directly arrive on the 3D experience platform, ICEM Design Experience on the cloud. You can see this total new user interface that has been redesigned. But let's start by some fundamentals. In the top center of the screen, you have the search bar. This is the place where you can search and retrieve all the data you need to start your work. By right-clicking, we are able to explore and open the 3D data itself. So here we have a preview, and of course we can load the data. When you open ICEM Design Experience app for the first time, you will land into the Welcome Quick Start, where you can find the very basic information you need to start playing with the application. 6 easy steps to learn the fundamentals. First of all, we have decided to let the user choose between CATIA, traditional navigation mode, and ICEM navigation in order to let people coming from ICEM feeling home. The second step is about the user interface. You see, we describe the V-bar, the V-nav, and of course the traditional action bar. We also introduce the Organize and the ICEM Design Experience palette, where you will be able to find the most used command by Surface Modeler. We also make a focus on the selection with the Control key, and very important, the robot, which allows us to direct modeling any kind of object in the 3D. With the step 5, we introduce the accelerator that has been implemented inside ICEM Design Experience. First, you will have the crown menu, fully customizable, and secondly, you have the mouse menu containing very useful accelerators in order to reduce bottleneck and provide efficiency in daily work. Step 6 is about keyboard shortcut. As it is a tool designed for experts, we have defined very useful keyboard shortcut accelerator in order to help expert user reach the right efficiency. Of course, shortcuts has been defined for each kind of keyboard, covering most of the regions. And last, we also provide a direct link with a creative design and styling swim community, which is the place where user will be able to share workflow best practices and raise questions to other users. This community is really the place to learn and share experiences and stay connected with Dassault system and creative design, styling, and Class A user. This is where user is able to create a 3D part, import part from the database. Like in this example, we can simply drag and drop a 3D XML, and it is directly imported into the 3D Experience platform. Again, first of all, we have a preview of the 3D, this silver layer, and by right-clicking on top of the object, we can open with all authoring features. So let's now see more in detail the user interface. As I said, by going in the little gear on top of right of the user interface, you can retrieve the most used settings. And this is where it's possible to define the navigation mode. As I said, you can choose between traditional CATIA navigation mode and ICEM Surf navigation. If we choose the ICEM Surf navigation, we are able to navigate by pushing on a Control key, and with the left mouse button, we can rotate, middle mouse button pan, right mouse button zoom. Let's keep going and have an overview about the V-bar. You will find very useful command that enable user to set plane to the current view, set a view to the current plane, define parallel mode view or perspective mode view, the visual symmetry, left side, right side, both. We also have the non-proportional scale, what we call stretch view, enabling to modify the scale of the point of view unproportionally and get more precision during sculpting. We also have the traditional smiley icon that helps the user to understand if they are in a proportional scale or unproportional scale. Of course, this app is touch ready, so we have graphical navigation icons. And of course, we can store camera and point of view. You can notice we have introduced the VNav, which actually allows the user, of course, to navigate, but not only. This is the place where you can easily move from standard view, switch from the right, left, top, bottom view. By clicking on the orange circle of the VNav, we are able to manually rotate, but also locking the plane view, allowing precision during sculpting phases, and also locking the rotation, only allowing the pan. Those tools are really helpful to focusing on the sculpt. You can also define the working plane by clicking on middle mouse button on top of the VNav, and you have this dashed highlight, providing to the user the feedback related to the active working plane. Let's now move to the IDX palette. You can see you have several tabs that can be dockable, undockable, hide it. You can really define the layout of the app based on your preference. In this palette, we have the most used command. Let's start by the display tab. This is where we define the kind of display by activating wireframe mode, predefined display shader. More than ever, visualization is part of the modeling experience, and those shaders really helps to have a better perception of the shape. We can also have visibility filter. For instance, in this case, I can deactivate and hide all curves, or even scan. In one single click, I'm able to visualize surfaces, scan, curves, and points. And also we have direct access to rendering tool. As I said before, rendering and visualization is more than ever part of modeling experience. We can directly start, retrace, and produce photorealistic images without any data import or export. Moving forward, we have Analyze tool tab with a measure analysis tool in order to measure quality of the surface we are creating. So here two examples. We have highlight analysis or cutting plane analysis. So all the options the traditional modeler needs on daily basis. We can also customize and define section color for surfaces, but also for scan on the fly. In addition to the traditional CATIA spec tree, we have also defined a new way to organize data. In the Organize panel, you will retrieve the possibility to create frames containing geometry, but you can also create display lists in order to organize visually your 3D space. Like in this example, we are able to activate the top of the eVTOL and focusing on the modelization, but also temporary lists, because sometimes we really need to focus on a specific area and have better visualization. So we can on the fly create temporary lists that are automatically deleted once we switch to the next list. And finally, we have the ability to create selection set in order again to store selections and allow the user to accelerate the design process. And last but not least, we have the Scale tab. And of course, in this tab, we can activate all the modifiers. Let's start by activating traditional control point on top of the curve, set up Smart Update in order to optimize performances. And by clicking on control point, we are able to automatically update our shape thanks to the soft parametric. Smart Update allows the user to have fluid control point experience, while soft parametric will guarantee all the transitions and the update. With the ICEM Design Experience, we are able to modify geometry not only by traditional VZ control point, but also through gravel point, which are actually point projecting directly on the surface and the curve, global point, which enables to globally modify curve and surfaces, and also a new concept, which is the torque handle. Torque handle are enabling the user to rotate and scale globally a geometry, curves and surfaces. So parametric really guarantee all the transition and the highlights, respecting all kind of connections. Same for surfaces, we are able to activate a control point, gravel point, projected on the surfaces, and all modifiers. In order to enhance the efficiency of daily work, we have introduced the mouse menu, which is actually a gesture menu, enabling you first of all to navigate through the standard view very quickly, saving a lot of mouse miles to the user on daily basis. Activate control point, activate analysis, and manage the display, shaders, and wireframe mode. And finally, we also have the customizable crown menu, where every single user can precisely find shortcut and accessibility to command, function, and transformer, like you see here in this panel. That's it for this quick user interface tour. Thanks for watching.